What's up, everyone? This is the Real American Jack Swagger, and you're listening to the official podcast of We the People, the main event podcast. Everyone tune in, stand up, put your hand over your heart, and say along with me. We the people.
Sorry,
my man. Nah, that's cool.
We're gonna talk about wrestling from today in the past. Johnny and Harmon are the main event podcast. It's gonna be blast.
Hello, Big Bad Harmon.
What's going on, Johnny?
Oh, a lot's going on. A lot is going on today. Huge interview.
Really?
By the way. Yeah, huge
Big
interview.
One?
Big interview on this
About
show.
6'6", 265, 270.
Yeah, just about that. Yeah. We have Jack freaking Swagger on the show. Crazy.
A real
We
American.
the people. Yes, a real American.
And
An
I
all-American
get so excited
American.
that I interrupt his intro.
You did. Yeah. It was a little embarrassing, but it worked out in the end. I thought it added a nice touch.
He giggled a little bit.
He did. He did laugh. He enjoyed it. So, yeah, we have Jack Swagger on the show today. Holy cow. I love it. Former WWE World Champ, former ECW Champ, Money in the Bank winner, US Champ. I mean, he's Jack Swagger. He's awesome. He is no longer in WWE. He's been on the Indy scene for about 5 months now, and he's killing it, man. He's working his ass off. He's having fun, and we get to talk to him about all the fun he's having. So it's a good time.
Yeah, he's adjusting to the independent lifestyle. He's realizing that he can pretty much do whatever he wants, and he's trying to just figure out what that is, you know?
It's a good feeling, right? Trying to figure out that you don't know Jack thing. It's great. So I was extremely excited to talk to him. Personally, I've been a fan of Jack Swagger's for a while now. Pretty much ever since he came into WWE. When he first came in as the All-American doing the push-ups in the ring. And it was great, man. Harmon, you can attest, I've got the We the People shirt. Had it for a couple of years now. It's great. I love it. It's one of my favorite shirts.
It's funny when you got that shirt and I got a shirt at the same time because it was buy one, get one. Both of those guys, neither with the company anymore.
Who did you get? I can't remember.
Bad News Barrett.
Yep. Good call. So let's see. Before we dive into that interview, because I want to get to it right away, because it's really great. Let's get into some plugs real quick. You guys can find us on Podbean and iTunes. Main Event Podcast.podbean.com is our main hub. We're on Twitter at Main Event Pod, Facebook.com/Main Event Pod, and we're on Instagram at Main Event Pod as well. And big news from kind of our point. We're going to be teaming up with Strong Style Brand. If you guys don't know, Strong Style Brand is an apparel company out of Rhode Island. And it's great, man. They sponsor wrestlers. It's just a cool hub of a lot of wrestling going on. And their brand is awesome. Like, their designs are great. Their apparel is awesome. They just released some shoes with the crossed barbed wire bats. It's just awesome. Like, Frankie does an amazing job running Strong Style Brand. We've been big fans of Strong Style for a while. So we, the Main Event Podcast, have become ambassadors of Strong Style Brand. So we will be, we have a code, or a link. If you guys go to strongstylebrand.com/main event pod, you guys will get 10% off your purchases from their website. And it's a great deal. Like I said, they've got some awesome shirts there. They got some JT Dunn shirts, Sami Callihan hats. Those are some of the wrestlers that they sponsor. Part of the family that they got down there. Part of the family. Yeah, so we're super excited about that. That's huge for us. We cannot be more thankful for it. We've been fans of Strong Style Brand for a while now. So, and we love everybody there. So again, it's strongstylebrand.com/main event pod. use that link. That'll be posted somewhere on our Facebook, and Twitter will be tweeting out that thing, and guys follow that, and you'll get 10% off your purchases at Strong Style brand. So there you go. That's it, man. I just want to dive right into the interview. What do you think?
Let's go now to the interview.
Oh, that guy. Jumping Jeff Farmer? Nice. No, not Jumping Jeff Farmer. Jack Swagger.
A real American.
Jack Swagger, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming on. This is crazy.
Johnny, thank you for having me, man. Looking forward to coming to the beautiful state of Maine, that's for sure.
Yeah, man, you're coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Fall in Maine is like none other. So, yeah, man.
I'm bringing a bikini.
Man, you were daring. Nice.
The Canadian gimmick.
Yeah.
Give me some maple syrup and a bikini, and I'll steal it.
Nice. Yeah, man. So you're gonna be up here next month, September 22nd, for Limitless Wrestling. You're taking on AR Fox. It's already been announced. That's a crazy matchup. Are you excited to come up to Maine and take on Fox, or what?
Yeah, I've been very impressed from what I've seen. So it should be a hell of a matchup. The card that night looks amazing. It seems like there's a lot of stars coming to town that day. So me and Mr. Fox are going to have to really step up and give a great show. We're going to have some competition.
Absolutely. I think this is like their biggest card yet. It's crazy. I mean, they always put on a great show, but this thing is stacked like top to bottom. It's crazy.
I thought I was going to be wrestling Joey Ryan, so I was getting my grip ready. But
yeah. Yeah, that seems.
See you sitting in the living room, just squeezing the grip, the old-fashioned grip machine, just getting ready.
You know, I grew up 2 blocks from Danny Hodge, and he can break up pliers with his hands. So,
shit. Wow.
Us Oklahoma boys, we know how to grab a cock. All right.
That's something you're not going to hear on any other podcast, right there. I love that.
Have you looked up any of AR Fox's matches on YouTube and stuff? Because you talk to the guy, he's pretty laid back and quiet. He gets in the ring, he's an absolute animal. Very intense, right?
Yeah. You guys haven't wrestled before, right?
I haven't wrestled, haven't met, haven't touched. I've seen some highlights on social media, and that's the thing that I took away from it too, is just him standing there, very impressive. So I can't wait to see the intensity he brings, because that always makes, competition always makes me better. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, man.
Very chill guy. He doesn't sell a bunch of merch or sign a bunch of autographs. He'll shoot the breeze and stuff, but he mostly just stretches and gets ready. He's like, nope, just gonna stretch.
Yeah, he's nice. Super cool. Yeah, we had a chance to talk to him last year, and he was great. He was really, really nice to us, and it was awesome, man. He was super cool. He immediately went up the ranks in my favorite new wrestler column. So he's awesome.
He sounds like a smart guy if he's stretching, because the biggest thing I've seen on this side of it is health is everything. Like, you have one little injury could hold you back and then just lead to something bigger. So that's he just went up a notch in my book after hearing that.
Well, yeah, he told us he wrestles 6 days a week. He's the head trainer at a school down in Georgia, and then he's on the road Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sometimes
that's crazy.
So he's in the ring as much as he possibly can be.
You really got to have your body at that optimal level for it to perform like that and stay performing like that over a period of time. And we all know this is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah. So what are you doing nowadays, man, to stay in shape? I see you doing some Pilates with your wife on Twitter. But besides that, I also see you kind of trying to find your way into some Brazilian jiu-jitsu gyms and stuff. What's going on there? What's your training like nowadays?
Well, I can get out of any lock, John, except the door.
What about
lock.
The master lock?
Easy. Bring it. Yeah, I really feel like at 35 years old, I've really gotten into the best shape of my life. I've had so much time to really be at home and take it seriously and not have to worry about travel or eating late at night. And that was for about 5 months, 4 months during those 90 days. I was off like a month before that even started, but it feels great. And I haven't rolled on some mats in quite some time. So getting back into that, like I realized, man, this is what I really love and need to stick with it and have it be a part of my training, whether I try to sneak into an octagon or not. It just makes me feel like, I get that victory every morning.
Yeah. Is MMA training, like, is that for something? Do you have like aspirations to dive into the MMA world, like, and compete at some level, or are you just kind of doing it to stay in shape and have some fun?
Well, it's definitely stay in shape and have some fun. Nothing like training your body for a fight. I'm very excited. I feel like there's a lot of opportunity there for ex WWE guy with a amateur background to cross over and really have the pro wrestling exposure complement by an MMA career. So like right now, combat sports are like amongst the most popular. I mean, look at last weekend, and had the whole world watching how much they made more money than the company and UFC in one night, I think. So
yeah, it's crazy, right?
Ridiculous money.
Yeah. It's a really good opportunity for an ex WWE wrestler to use the WWE the way that the WWE uses its talent. So I'm just looking forward to finding that next step right now. Nothing concrete.
Yeah. And I think too, like a guy like yourself, obviously like Brock Lesnar had success, but a guy like yourself who has like a really good base with that collegiate wrestling background could do really well in MMA. What did you think of CM Punk's venture into MMA?
I mean, I think we all. I felt I knew it the whole time.
Yeah, right.
It would. I think he would have been better if he wouldn't have trained for 2 years and just got out of the ring and went right to it. Because I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, and whether he went in it to try to win or whether he went in it because it was something that he wanted to do, which that takes a lot of guts. But he didn't lose the fight. He made a buttload of money. So, I mean,
right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I hear it, man. Yeah. So getting back,
training jiu-jitsu, did you, the first time you tried it, did you just feel goofy, like getting on your back and stuff? Because Johnny and I used to roll around a bit, and we had a buddy that wrestled in high school, and he was like, nope, I can't get on my back. He says it just feels too freaking weird.
Yeah, I definitely was like being more aggressive and not getting there because one, it's a different world, and I was also still trying to do like the explosive burst to where jiu-jitsu is more constant pressure and not giving up position. So it was very similar, I felt like, to the technique as far as like how you keep your weight on them and controlling body parts, and then the rules are just slightly changed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny when we used to roll, like, because I trained BJJ for a little while, and going against some of my like wrestler buddies, because I didn't wrestle in high school, but some of my buddies like wrestled, and yeah, it was like completely different ballgame. I remember going up against one guy, and I just immediately went to my back. I just pulled guard, and he was just like, "What is happening? This is the weirdest. I don't even know what to do right now. This is so awkward." He's like, "Do I go for a pin?" I was like, "There's no pinning here, buddy." But. So getting back to the Indy stuff, you didn't get like a real indie run, correct? Like before you got signed by WWE?
No, I was lucky. I got into it right out of college, got signed to developmental right out of college. So this was a big learning curve for sure coming out here. But
what's different about it besides like you said the travel, but like what's different about
like the biggest difference that stands out, it's far more intimate. A lot more signings and a lot more experiences with the fans, which is cool. And it was something that I did not expect. You kind of just want to do your job and not be bothered. But at the same time, this is our business, so it's been very cool and been like treated with nothing but like open arms every place I go. Please come back. So it's been a little bit of a ego boost, but also very, very hospitable. So it's nice.
Nice. Yeah. Has what's the locker rooms been like with the boys? Like, does anybody kind of do that classic, hey, can you watch my match kind of a thing with you? Because like, I don't know. I mean, I figure, not a lot of guys or wrestlers that have been to the show like yourself.
World champion, ECW champions come walking into their locker rooms,
Right, exactly. So, does anybody kind of hit
you? Guys are too kind.
Hey, man.
All the locker rooms and the rosters have, it's been another one of the best parts about it. It just seems like everybody kind of recognizes that this industry is growing and wants to be a part of it and wants to help each other grow it. And so we saw that competition to go and have the best match of the night. But at the same time, you see, and I'm just meeting a lot of these people for the first time, and I'm noticing it, like just seeing people help each other. So that's been great. And so when you have that type of environment and you can have a little bit of a relationship with the person, I think that's great. A couple of people have asked me, but I'm a diva. I need my green M&Ms and my spring water, and just stay away from me. That's just the type of person I am.
Well, you're lucky to get the best spring water in the country right here in Maine.
I'm the farthest thing from a diva, John. Come on.
Yeah, I know. I can't even imagine that. That's ridiculous. So who have you worked with so far? Like that's impressed you, or that you've liked working with, or maybe you have like a good connection with? You're like, oh, we mesh well together. Let's have more matches.
I've worked with Donovan Dijak a couple times now, and I've really been impressed with him. I know he is going to the company, so I'm very excited for him. I think he deserves it, man. He looks like a big Zack Ryder.
Yeah, I know, right?
What a athlete, though, huh?
Oh, but he hit that discus boot on me, and it was so fast, and it was just so impressive, and it was great. And so from that moment on, I was just like, man, this guy has it. I saw one time, one of the matches, he climbed over the barricade and the fans stood up to him, and I'm like, oh shit, how you going to get yourself out of this one? And he quick fast hands, freaky fast hands, knocked the hat off the dude and made everyone boo him,
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then, so I go out and put the hat back on the guy, lift his arm, and, our job is over for the night. It's easy after that.
Right. Yeah. Sold. Nice. Yeah. We love Donovan Dijak. He just performed in Limitless for the last time. What was it? Last month or the month before?
And, yes. I saw that.
Yeah. So we're stoked to see him one more time, and we're going to kind of miss him around here. Did you get to talk to him after work it out that he got signed, or after he got signed?
Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah. Did you have any advice for him for going to the show, or what?
He seemed like he was pretty confident about it. So
yeah,
it was more of a congratulatory.
A buddy of ours, Brian Malonis, the Kingpin, he made the PWI top 500, and he told Dijak to suck it today because
Dijak didn't, which I thought was insane, right?
Right?
Insane.
Yeah, but
insane.
Of course, they're good buddies. Just giving him crap, but
That's funny. That is funny. I think I saw that on Twitter. What did Dijak posted something? It was just like a picture or something. I forget, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah. Let's see. Harmon, you got any more indie questions for you? I've got a bunch of WWE stuff.
In WWE, they probably taught you more the, their style, like the pro heavyweight style. Like I always think of Triple H when I think of it. It's a little slower.
Your favorite guy?
Yeah, well, I mean,
not you. I was talking about Jax.
Oh, but I that's kind of how I see it. Like, he had matches last year with Ambrose, and you could kind of see we haven't seen anybody wrestle like that in a while because everybody's going to this newer, the higher flying. The selling's not as, I think the selling's a little quicker. They're not selling as long.
Mm-hmm.
The matches are a lot higher pace.
Mm-hmm.
People are calling it, the indie style. Are you switching your style up? Because you always seem to me like that pro heavyweight style. More of a classic wrestler than.
Well, that's a great question. I'm glad you brought it up because that's also that's been a big adjustment for me. The big thing in pro wrestling is like every crowd is different, so you kind of have to figure it out where they are and then adjust. Some are more of a family crowd and more kids, and you can have that style of a match. And then other crowds, you're gonna have 5-6 matches doing some pretty impressive shit. So you kind of have to act accordingly in how you call yours. But there's I'm 6'6", 260. I can jump off the second row, but other than that, I'm gonna try to keep you on the ground and catch you out of the air. Just what got me to the dance, I guess.
You'll have plenty of time to catch AR Fox out of the air. Let me tell you right now. The limitless crowd will go for just about anything. So in the words of Brian Cage, get your shit in, okay?
I'm good friends with Brian. Man, he's huge, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a big dude. We got to meet him a couple months back, and Jesus, TV does not do it justice, man. I was just standing next to the dude. I got my picture with him. I was like, good God, man, you are gigantic.
Oh yeah, he's taking pictures. He's pressing women over his head. He's got pictures.
That's awesome. Somebody's got to tweet a picture of him from developmental because he was in developmental with my wife and I, and then a picture of him now side by side.
Yeah, was he? Is it total different person?
No, yeah, just leaner, but a lot leaner. He was in great shape back then, but man, he's just a lot of hard work in the gym. You can tell it's good for him.
Yeah, I think I broke the ice that night with him by saying hey, you should maybe lift a weight once in a while. And he did not find it funny, but no, good guy though, super nice.
And then he made you buy a girl's tank top.
He did, yeah. Yep.
if you make a bad joke to Brian Cage, you buy a girl's tank top.
That's right.
It's just rules.
Yeah, it's one of those rules of life. So, so what are your goals out here on the Indies? I know when I think the comparison a lot, like the Cody kind of comparison gets a lot, just because it's you guys have similar stories. You guys are both in WWE, big stars in WWE, and then asked for your releases, and then now you guys are working on the Indies. Cody's kind of out there gobbling up titles, and I think mostly because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but they told him that they didn't really see him as a world champ. You attaining that goal already in WWE. Having that world title kind of in your belt, does that make you less hungry, more hungry, kind of out on the Indies to kind of capture some titles out here?
I mean, no one would be a pro wrestler if they weren't hungry. It's just one of those things where you have to love it and you have to, want to taste blood to do it. It's a lot of fun and there's a lot of highlights, but there's a lot of, tough moments to doing it. So it goes hand in hand. My goals are I wanted to lead the company to grow my brand because I felt like they were actively not growing it. And this is, the best time of my life right now. I'm in the best shape of my life. So I needed to take matters into my own hands, take a little bit of a risk. They're calling this the golden age of pro wrestling right now. I think there's never been a better time to be a pro wrestler. It's so acceptable in mainstream culture these days. It's no longer on the outside looking in as, oh, you like pro wrestling. No, most of the majority of people like pro wrestling now. And I just think you see it with the promotions on this side of things and the business that they're doing. So that weighed into the factor, and I think I want to come out here. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a chip on my shoulder. And maybe it is because I'm a former world heavyweight champion, but I got something to prove. I know, like the last couple of years, it was just kind of wasted matches. So it's going to be a whole new thing. Not a whole new thing. It's going to be the same thing I've always done. And I'm, the main thing is to gain leverage, try to cross over to some other forum, use that exposure from the last 11 years of WWE television, and use that to, go on to my next step, whatever that is. If I want to be a meteorologist, or if I want to, go sell water units, I'd have to use that background to help elevate the position or whatever. So it's a long journey, and we just started it. We're about 5 months in. And so really having fun wrestling overnight. I love wrestling again. So just going on this journey and taking each moment and each lesson.
Are you having a good time on the indies? Are you having more fun than you've had in a long time? Because the guys that I see that are super successful in the independents, like Cody's doing it, guys that come in and just seem like they're having the best time. Like Paul London was one of them. He came in, that guy sang for 5 minutes before he got in the ring. Everybody's hand, Brian Cage, he always seems like he's having a great time. He banters with the crowd. People that just seem like they're having the best time of their lives. They're doing the best. We got some guys, around here that they do that, and they're superstars at Limitless. You got JT Dunn and Maxwell Jacob Friedman and guys
Ace.
that show up all the time. These guys are superheroes around here now, and the New England scene is about as hot as anywhere. Are you going to be doing more shows in New England?
Absolutely. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any. I worked with Northeast Wrestling a bunch. I'm sure they'll be running some. Actually, I think November 4th, I'll be doing a charity show in Connecticut. So right around that area. I'm a big fan of JT Dunn, though. Big fan.
Yeah, we love JT Dunn. He's awesome. Yeah. That's so cool. Like what you said about how it's like so socially acceptable now. Cause I remember a little tidbit about me. I now for the last 3 years have worn a pro wrestling shirt every day of my life, which is so weird.
Yep.
But I can remember years ago kind of putting on shirts and only being able to wear them in certain crowds and be like, oh, I'm going to a wrestling show, or I'm hanging out with my buddies who also like wrestling. There's a little bit of I don't know, just something, out of the norm about it. But now, like you said, everybody knows about it. Everybody likes it. Even if they don't watch it currently or go out to their local shows, they can accept it and be like, oh yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool that you're into that. So I love it, man.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And it's just, it seems like there's a lot of opportunity in this industry, and that's what's exciting. So we'll see. Let's work together and build something,
For sure, man. And real quick about t-shirts, when I wear your We the People shirt with the hand over the heart, my kid likes to run up to me and high five that hand. And it's really funny. He just loves that shirt.
every time before I would go out and I had that shirt on, Goldust would find a way to chop me. He's like, "What? That's what the shirt's for, right?"
Yeah, nice. Who are some of your buddies that did you ride with anybody specifically a lot back in the WWE days? Or
I ride alone, Johnny.
do ya?
No.
You did not.
No, that was kind of like, for me, that was always my sanctuary. Like if it was a long loop or a long TV taping, you could hop in that car and you could switch off all the politics. So, you got to have good friends by your side. And it's, always hard to find people, not always, but it is hard to find people that you can actually trust in a business like this. So, very blessed. I miss these guys more than anything. So, it's like guys like R-Truth, Mike Chioda, everyone's favorite Roman Reigns, Usos, Ambrose, Heath Slater, Henning. Who else? Even though Joe Henning doesn't drink cold beer, I still like him.
He doesn't drink cold beer? No,
he's a coward.
Does he drink warm beer? That's weird. That's super weird.
We have to find out. We'll have to get that hashtag. Why doesn't Joe Henning drink cold beer?
Yeah. Weird. Yeah.
Harmon, I was just going to say to your earlier question, I forgot about, yes, I am having a good time out here, and it does seem like people are having a lot of fun with it. And I think it's, a couple things like the smaller venues make it more intimate and the fans are more on top of you. And so like you can really have an interaction with everyone compared to someone long ways away that can't hear you banter at them or banter at someone, 10 rows up or something. And that's really cool. Can you just have like a little, with this type of crowd, you still have your typical wrestling psychology, but you have a lot of freedom to where if you have something good and it's fun, like you can put that into a match and you can just go back to having a good wrestling match afterwards. So it is very cool to see that. And something I wasn't expecting as well. So, but it's been a lot of fun to be involved with it. And, I'll have to work on my banter because everyone knows I'm not a talker, but the rest is fun.
Yeah. Like I always think how like tight knit the wrestling community is. Like everybody gets along, everybody helps each other out. Like, and you meet friends in like weird places. Like we're friends with these guys. They call themselves the Back Row Mafia, and they sit over by the beer table at Limitless, but like they text with Paul London like regularly, like they're friends now. Like they send them messages back and forth to each other.
Oh wow! I think I've seen Back Row Mafia tweets about the show.
Yes. Oh yeah, you definitely have.
Okay.
Yeah, they're good dudes. It's funny. Speaking of like how I can't tell if you're sarcastic or not when you say like that you're not a good speaker, because I actually I thought that you excelled at it earlier in your career when you first came into WWE and you're kind of like the all-American you're doing push-ups and you're talking a bunch of shit on the mic, and I thought it was great, man. I really bought into that your first gimmick there. I
think that's important. Is like you got to buy into the character. You definitely got to believe in what you're saying out there, even though if it is portrayed. So
yeah. So then, like later on, like when they brought in Dutch, when they brought in Zeb to manage you, I felt like it was weird because like it kind of took the mic away from you, because I mean, Zeb was such a good speaker. How did you feel about that? Like when they brought in him to manage you?
I was very excited. Yeah. Before we had done anything, we were in Nashville. It was like the week after the Elimination Chamber. And Dutch lives in Nashville, and he came in to lay some film down for us so we could kind of see if, what it looks like on camera. And he did 2 takes, and then he did one more and like did some adjustments. And at the end of it, it wasn't written on the script. He threw in "We the People" as the cherry on top, and everybody in the room was like, "Wow, that was good."
Yeah.
And then like Vince watched it and he was like, "That's my guy." So like it was kind of a cool moment to be involved with. I was in the room and I was like, "Oh, okay." Like he definitely understood the character. I'm not saying he was a character, but I'm saying he definitely understood it.
Yeah.
But like, I got to drive him for 2 years, and I'll put that experience up there with winning a world heavyweight championship as far as like moments in my career and stuff that I learned and things that have helped me tremendously. I love that guy. He's very smart. 40 years in the business, he comes in, looks at it, and then he throws in "We the People," and then look at that thing. It's still running.
Yeah.
But Dutch, it's fine.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Are you able to use that, right? Because you got some merch with it still, right? That's not like trademarked by WWE or anything?
No, it's not trademarked by WWE.
Good.
It's
I know they're like vultures sometimes with their stuff, so that's cool. You get to use it.
I'd rather not talk about it.
Yeah, all right. Moving on, that can get cut out. So I had a question about Money in the Bank. So being a former Money in the Bank winner and a successful cash-in, how does the creative process go into that? Like, how long are the plans made for that? And do they let you in on if you're going to cash in successfully or not, like when you win it? Or did they just go kind of like week by week writing it?
I didn't find out too much before it. Maybe before we all flew out to Phoenix, like the TV before that. And as far as when to cash it in, they kind of, anyways, with my experience, like it was very short, but they weren't really telling me what they were thinking one way or the other. But
yeah. You just drag the briefcase around until we tell you to use it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Is that is that like frustrating at times? Because you're like, man, what am I going to do with this thing? Or like, what's going on? Because I know that it was pretty short. I think it was only a couple weeks that you had it, right? And then you cashed in.
No,
was it?
No, it was 2 TV tapings. So they said they say it was 5 days because SmackDown aired on Friday. But
okay.
So the Monday after Mania was in Phoenix, and I teased it on Cena, and then the next night we we filmed in Vegas. And that's where it went down. So, gotcha. Dude, it was 2 days I had it, but yeah, it was a pain. It was a pain in the ass for those 2 days.
Yeah. So, maybe you can answer this question, maybe you can't. But when you see it, like when you see a guy hang on to it for a while and then cash in, and then it goes like horribly wrong, like, and he doesn't get to cash in and become the champ.
Like poor Baron Corbin.
Like Baron Corbin recently.
What's that about?
I don't know. Like that's kind of my question. Is like not that.
I told Johnny. I said they have to do that every once in a while to make it so that it's not an automatic title.
I guess
that was kind of my feel too. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it sucks to be the poor bastard that has to bite the bullet on that one. You're like, you're using me as the surprise to not to lose. But yeah, I guess that was kind of where I was going with that. I was like, what's the creative process? It's like at some point they saw stock in a guy to give him the briefcase, and then somewhere along the line, I don't know, like his stock kind of plummeted a little bit, and then.
It's definitely viewed in our fans' eyes as very damaging.
Yeah,
it's just associated with past wrestlers or past things with it. So like. You can survive it. You just you need something after it. So, to kind of wait and see which direction they go.
Yeah.
It always amazes me when they go with we'll make a lovable loser out of him. We'll have this guy lose a bunch of matches. Then people will get behind him. Like,
hey, that's my gimmick.
It's my gimmick. Don't take it away.
With Barrett, and I hated it. I'm like, why is he losing every match? I thought he was so great.
Yeah.
But maybe there's somebody else.
Yeah. Let's see. So, how did you guys view NXT? Like, you guys on the main roster, and because I mean NXT is like become super hot right now. It kind of has that indie feeling to it.
Well, here's how I felt about it. Coming from an athletic background, competition makes everyone better. So the more people you have competing for less spots, everybody's going to step their game up. You're going to have a better product. I really feel like it was used as a weapon against guys on the roster, to take away even more of their leverage than their contract already does. To say, no, we got 80 guys down there, which, 80 hungry guys with dreams, nothing against them, come up, have a great match. But it slowly turned into something else than just a developmental program.
Yeah. Yeah. We kind of always debate that, like what it is. And we've had like whole episodes about like, just trying to define it and how it's kind of gone over the years. And I still can't really wrap my finger around it. Like, is it developmental? Is it not? But yeah, it's interesting the way they've used it.
And I wonder why they didn't do more of like they did with like TJ or with like Zack Ryder, where they went to NXT and they built themselves back up and then came back. Why didn't they do that with some other guys? Like, I don't know, like say Heath Slater's character, or, when they weren't using you on TV, why didn't they have you? They could have had you wrestle on NXT or create a faction or do something, It just seemed like there's 3 TV shows and there wasn't as much as going on as there should have been.
Yeah. I mean, it kind of just depends on how you take it. Even though if you didn't see me on TV, I was doing all the live events up there, and that is the main portion of guys like where I was on the card. Our income was those live events. The TVs were way chopped down because of the production costs. But if they would ask me to go to NXT, I would have refused.
Yeah.
Even as hot as it was.
Yep. Maybe I'm being silly, but.
No, hey man, it's your opinion, yeah, for sure. I mean, you know better than anybody your value, so absolutely. I want to talk about, like the start-stop kind of storylines. Not just specifically with you, but I mean, it's happened to a lot of guys. Like Wade Barrett had that happen to him a lot. Ziggler is kind of going through that right now. Rusev is kind of going through that right now. What are your feelings on that? Like, is it hard to like sink your teeth into a specific storyline? I mean, obviously it must if they're like starting and stopping it. Like, I can think of specifically like your feud with Del Rio near the end, and like they had that weird switcheroo with Zeb, and things just seemed really like not as fluid as they should have been. Is that am I correct? Kind of.
I thought that could have gone on for way longer.
Yeah, well, a lot of those start stops, I say a lot, but some anyways, are due to injury. Freak injuries that happen. The first feud with me and Del Rio, I severed my thumb, and I had to go away for 2 months, 3 months, and then after that is when Cesaro came back. We came back as a tag team. So sometimes it's injuries. I know Rusev has had a couple recently. That is a frustrating part for any superstar, though, because you go out there and you put your body and you really put your heart into these storylines, and it's very hard to create natural momentum amongst the fans. You can't force it. You can't shove it down their throats. they're going to have to like it organically, naturally, has to appeal to them, or somehow they have to take it and change it and make it theirs, which is kind of what happened with We the People. It became a people movement once that whole deal with Rusev happened. So it is frustrating, and but it's not my company, and so whatever decisions are made behind the scenes, businessly, maybe that has to do with it, but who knows?
Yeah.
Now are you like super excited about like being as creative as you want to be now, working for different independent companies? You don't have to follow a storyline. All you really have to do is get yourself over, and
it is nice
you can be as creative as you want.
It is nice, to have that like control over what you're doing and how you want to do it and how you want to be portrayed. And, and then you got a lot of hard work that's associated with being on your own. So kind of be careful what you wish for. So as a two-edged sword, but no risk, no reward. And it has been a lot of fun. And like, that's what I've been saying in a lot of interviews, like it's a journey. And so it's going to be like a reinvention. And you don't know Jack, because I'm going to show you a whole nother side.
Awesome. I know, dude. I can't wait.
As soon as I learn what that is.
Yeah, I gotta figure that out. Yeah. Nice. I've heard kind of some things. What's going on with the LFR apparel? The Let's Fucking Rage thing. What's going on with that?
Let's fucking rage.
Let's fucking rage. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, that's how you say it. Exactly. So,
Zack Ryder came up with the name. Come on.
So, it's a real gang. We jump people in, and then you got to get the tattoo. So if you want in, I don't think Harmon wants in.
No. Do I have to learn a handshake? Because if I have to learn a handshake, I'm probably out.
No, there's no handshake. No, it's pretty cool story. My wife and I started
6'3", 400 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal. I want in.
Harmon's a big dude. Yeah.
You just raged all over that microphone, my friend. I love it. No, it was just something my wife and I said when we first started dating, and we made the ultimate faux pas, getting a couple tattoos, and we got LFR tattooed on our wrist. And so it's always kind of just, I don't know, quiet motto, I guess.
Spring break,
Yeah.
It was New Year's, my friend. All right, get it right.
Come on, Harmon.
And then it's kind of like, my wife has always wanted to start her own clothing line, but we never had the time or the resources. And so it's been a silver lining of leaving the company. I've had more time at home. We started a company. It's LFR Life. The website should be up very shortly, lfrlife.com. And I want it to be, you can go there to get Jack Swagger merchandise, but I also want to help other wrestlers in the industry make shirts. And then if they need a website or a platform, put it on there.
Very cool, man. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. That'll be pretty neat. Harmon, do you have any more questions for Jack?
I want to switch gears a little bit. We're 1 week away from the start of the NFL season.
I'm a Niners fan, my friend.
Okay, so the answer is no, your team cannot beat the Patriots. Okay.
No, not this year. But no. I just saw, I was watching the college football tonight and saw that the Niners got some first round offensive lineman from, I don't know, some kind of weird trade, maybe Philly. And then all I had to do was give up a 5th round pick. So that might be something.
Yeah. Deal, man.
Jeez. You guys do have a pretty good running back, though. Carlos Hyde, I like him. He's good. He'll be on the
you guys got a good wide receiver in Element, right? He's healthy.
Oh, you bastard. We're ending this interview right now. Damn it. Yeah, I know. Brandon Cooks is going to step up now. Jeez.
He's going to be big for you guys. I had a draft last night, and I was trying to get him, and I missed him.
Yeah.
We have a Gronk.
do
What's a
have a
Gronk?
Him. He's a
Yeah.
Gronk.
He's a Gronk. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that was cool that he got to get in there at Mania with Mojo.
Yeah, that was pretty neat.
Smack Jinder Mahal around a little bit.
Oh damn! I got to spend a little time with Mojo, and he was on the phone a lot with Gronk, but they seem like very good friends, and I know Mojo's a very good person.
Gronk
So
on board with Let's fucking rage.
Yeah.
yeah, that is a great idea. I'm going to call Mojo now.
Get the hookup, man, for sure. So.
Well, this kind of turned into a little business powwow.
That's
Thanks,
right.
guys.
That's right.
Yeah. Main Event Podcast when you're getting on the Gronk bus. All right. Jeez.
Yeah, bring us along, man.
No. Those guys are Giants fans. Keep them out.
Ugh, gross. The Giants. We have some bad memories of Giants games. Ugh.
Giants.
We
don't even show that replay around here. Okay. You know that catch with the
the Tyree catch.
Yeah, we don't even talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it either. Anyway, man, Harmon, unless you have anything else, I've got kind of one last question to kind of send us off.
Oh, I got one more question here.
You would, God, Harmon.
I'm gonna cut right in on you. All right, so from your WWE days,
there we go.
I was always a big fan of stables, and I didn't think there was enough of them, to be honest. If you could have created a stable, what 3, 4, 5 guys would you have wanted in your stable? If Jack Swagger was the leader of a faction, who's he having for you always had a tag team in your stable. I mean, who would be your tag team in there? Who would be your heater? If Jack Swagger created a stable.
So you're not gonna let me answer with Dutch Mantel, Antonio Cesaro, as those guys?
That was more of a tag team with a manager. I guess it would be 4 guys or more then.
All right. Let's see. A stable. Well, I'd have to have my dog, R-Truth. The Usos would be my tag team. Reigns would be my heater. Mike Chioda would be my crooked ref. When I'm getting my butt kicked, I can still get the win. Long night with the vodka type deal, tough match.
Yeah,
look the other way type deal.
Yeah, I love that you picked a ref.
Yeah, you got to have a man on the inside. Come on, smart.
And then
little Nate,
Yeah, and then Zeb Coulter would be the
the hype man.
Yeah.
Nice, very cool. All right, man. Before we get out of here, what's one of your fondest memories so far in your career, either inside or outside of WWE? I mean, obviously, you mentioned earlier, riding with Zeb. Anything a little bit more like kind of unknown, a little bit?
No, very fortunate for the career I had. Blessed, a lot of very good memories, and had a lot of good relationships with very, very good people along the way behind the scenes that help whatever journey keep going for me. So very thankful for that. I can't really think of any off the top of my head, but like the whole thing to me just is, look back as a positive, and not a whole lot of bad memories.
Yeah, awesome, man.
So,
go for it.
Right now, are you gonna like you just we're talking about finding what that is. What you don't know Jack, but you really don't know what about Jack right now. You're trying to figure it all out. Like once you get a handle on it, are you going to look towards some of these other companies like Ring of Honor? Are you going to try to go to Japan? The bigger independents. Anything besides the W.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I really want to wrestle everywhere, and I think it's going to take wrestling everywhere to really help that you don't know Jack transform into something great. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to have a lot of bumps, but just try to learn from the mistakes. And I really can't wait to get over to Japan. ROH would be a lot of fun. So maybe in the near future. I've been really concentrating on the UK scene since I left, though. So
nice. Yeah, and you were just in Australia somewhere, right?
yeah.
Nice.
Got to work with House of Hardcore, Tommy Dreamer, once again teaching me many valuable lessons.
Yeah, some hardcore lessons.
Can I promote HOH on here?
Absolutely, man. For sure.
Well, we met Tommy Dreamer years ago. At a gentleman's establishment.
So if you're if you're Australian, the way you chant HOH, they go HOH. It's really something to hear in person.
That's awesome. I have a House of Hardcore poster right behind me. Triple H, yes, that's where that must have came from. Yeah. Where could people find you on the internet?
Real Jack Swagger, Instagram and Twitter, at Catalina Swagger for the beautiful, more funnier side of me, and buy all our great stuff at lfrlife.com.
Awesome, nice. Man. Thank you so much for giving us some time tonight, man. We look forward to seeing you next month. Well, actually, it'll be this month. Tomorrow's a new month. So, yeah. Seeing you on the 22nd for Limitless Wrestling, taking on AR Fox. It's going to be a hell of a match, man. I know you're going to put on a show and meet you in person then. How's that sound?
The pleasure was all mine, guys. Thank you. It was a lot of fun, super easy, and I'll be training very hard for Mr. Fox.
Nice.
Fox. Yes.
Cool. Awesome, man. Thank you so much.
So what'd you think of that, Johnny, huh? The real American Jack Swagger. I got a little excited there a couple times, but
I loved it. Oh my God. I think it went well. It was good, man. I liked it a lot. Cool guy, chill, gracious enough to answer some of my more annoying WWE creative questions. But very cool. Definitely looking forward to meeting him in person on the 22nd for Limitless Wrestling's Question the Answers. Definitely going to be a fun show. Like we kind of mentioned, that show is just stacked top to bottom, and Jack Swagger kind of leading the way there. It's awesome. I can't wait.
Even he recognizes that this is stacked, and he's only been on the Independents like 5 months.
Right? Yeah. I can't wait. I wish it was the 22nd tomorrow. I'm that excited for this show. So,
all I got to say is watch out, AR Fox. He was working on that grip for Joey Ryan. So
that's true. Yeah.
It's probably still going to be pretty strong. I mean,
yeah. Watch yourself. Yeah.
He may do it just out of, practice. I don't
know. Yeah. Let's see. Let's wrap up here. That was great. There's nothing more to really say besides that was a fun interview.
I'm hungry. You hungry?
No, I'm not hungry. It's like 10 o'clock at night. Let's see. Again, strongstylebrand.com/main event pod. Go there for all your strong style gear. It's awesome designs on merch. Again, they got JT Dunn shirts, Sammy Callahan shirts, New Gore Order
sick hats.
Just the best hats. Go there. You guys will get 10% off if you guys go to that link. Courtesy of us. And I'm looking forward to that partnership.
And guys, we've never made a dime from this podcast, and if you go and use our code and get 10% off, a little bit of that comes to us.
It does. It really does.
A little bit. I mean, it may be enough that we can buy one of us a ticket to one of the shows.
Right. We'll see how it goes.
We'll see how many of you use our code.
Yeah, use it. If you're going to buy Strong Style brand stuff anyway, you should use our code. 10%. Might as well. What's the harm in saving 10%?
Awesome stuff. I got to get a Real Deal heel sweatshirt.
Yeah, you do. I got to get
a winter.
You know what my wife wants? She actually wants the hat that I'm currently wearing, the camo one, but
sold out.
It is sold out. Yeah. So her second choice is the one with the ring in it, the black one with the old school wrestling ring in it. So
Really?
yeah, I was like, that's great, babe. I will buy that for you immediately. Saving 10%. So anyway, Harmon, where are you at on the old internet?
I had Harmon 316 on the Twitter.
Oh yeah, I am at Johnny Fashion on the Twitter, and we are at Main Event Pod on Twitter and Facebook.com/Main Event Pod, and on Instagram at Main Event Pod.
Follow us on Twitter. Guess which one of us is running it at the time.
Oh yeah, that's a good game we should play. That's a really good game. Nice.
Because sometimes I go on there and I'm like, did I? No, that must have been him.
Did I tweet that? What was I thinking? No.
I know you do that. Oh, Harmon.
God damn it, Harmon.
Stop posting on there.
No, never, man. Never. It's good. Quick shout out to Follow the Fox. Thank you guys so much for the intro and outro music, Sarah and Dylan. Those guys are based out of Denver, Colorado. You guys should follow them online. You really should. It's a good follow. Go to facebook.com/followthefoxband and go to followthefoxband.com. That's their website. They'll have their dates on when they're performing, where they're performing. If you guys are in or around Denver ever, you take a trip to Denver, Colorado, ever in your life, look them up and spend a night seeing them play live music because they're friggin' phenomenal. So big shout out to Eric Ames. I know that he's listening. He listens every week. We got to get him on. We've been trying to for weeks now, but
run out of time again.
Well, get Jack Swagger on the show. So
That's true. Sorry.
Yeah. So sorry, Eric. Maybe next time. And that's about it. Harmon, I'm gonna roll out of here. I'm gonna post this bad boy in due time.
Get to editing already.
I know, right? Jeez. Are we allowed to mention like editing on the podcast? Is that like breaking the fourth wall?
I don't know why we can't.
John Cena just did it. So.
Yeah, Crockett does it all the time. So
sure. Yeah. So cool. All right. Harmon,
I mold myself after Mike Crockett.
You do?
Mike Crockett's co-host. I meant to say Mike Crockett's co-host. I mean, you know.
Yes. That's getting it.
Top 500 wrestler, Brian Malonis.
Congratulations, Mr. Kingpin. All right, man. Harmon, thank you as always for joining me on
Thanks
the
for having me.
podcast.
You know, maybe I'll come back.
It's fun, right? Yeah, it's fun. I hope so. I hope you'll come back next week. If not, then I'll have to find semi-regular Greg as your replacement. You do not like that idea. All right. Listeners at home, thank you guys so much for listening. We will catch you later.